The poster representing Soros were set up in order to support the government anti-immigration campaign. Soros is seen as the main financier of NGO system supporting refugees and migrants coming to Hungary. So this is the reason. This is the main reason why there is an opposition between Soros and the government anti-immigration campaign. Nevertheless, it's necessary to say that Soros is not the direct political rival of Viktor Orban. The rivalry between the two is strictly personal. Is Orban perceiving Soros as a possible enemy, since he's financing a lot of NGOs and organizations through Open Society, its Open Society Foundation, which often works against the political mechanism settled up by the government. So I think this is the main reason why we can see Soros posters now in Budapest. No, not now, but like 3 weeks ago, because now swimming championships started, and so they have been withdrawn by the government. I would affirm that this is not the first time of such a political campaign. It's not always toward a personified enemy, but it has been made against Brussels during the campaign for the referendum against migrant quota last October, and then it has been made in this spring, around April, March and May. It was possible to see around Budapest some posters with the written like "Stop Brussels," because the government started an individual survey, sending letters and surveys to voters throughout all the country to struggle against Brussels mistakes. So we can see that the government used this strategy of finding an enemy in foreign institutions, foreign individuals, and so on to create a common and shared vision of Hungary, maybe not as a victim, but as a country which has been obstacled in its path towards a proper independence. Concerning to this topic, I think there are 3 main aspects that necessitate to be considered. The first one is related to the perception of migrants, migrant crisis, refugees, and which brings then to xenophobia in Hungary. First of all, Hungary never experienced such an amount of refugees in the country since, in the last 100 years, we can say. So it's really easy for parties and for government to stress on the amount of refugees, since people and public opinion cannot have a real perception of what does it mean to have a huge flow of migrants in a country, because they never been a frontline country. It's the first time in history. But we have to take into account that there is a really small amount of refugees which applied for asylum in Hungary. We had 30,000 requests in the last year, and just 500 of them have been accepted. And EU, with the quota system, asked to Hungary to take around 1,200 refugees. So the numbers given by the government and the parties are not matching with the number given by EU and data. The third aspect to take into consideration is that Jobbik has always showed its anti-Semitic, xenophobic ideas. And it always stressed on these topics to rely on feelings and issues and prejudice deeply rooted in Hungarian feelings. Now we can notice a shift since Fidesz need to win the election in 2018, so it's shifting its kind of politics to a more far-right like idea and vision, and is going to cover that. I mean, its aim is to cover that part of voters which were earlier covered by Jobbik. And then the last aspect to take into consideration is that anti-Semitism is about anti-Semitism. First of all, it is necessary to say that after Second World War, Hungary and Budapest is the main melting pot of Jewish in East Central Europe. Is the largest community of Jews in East Central Europe. There are more than 20 synagogues in Budapest. So there is a quite well-settled community in the country. Nevertheless, it is possible to find in Hungarian population rooted prejudices and feelings which, according to me, maybe were latent in the previous years, but now are like have been stimulated by these extreme right political parties. So they are coming out again, but I'm not able to say to what extent they could be seriously being undertaken by population, or they just like slogan for reaching political support. And this is the same with Roma. I mean, I think that Hungary always have felt threatened by minorities, and this is the reason why they are have problem now even with Roma in these last years. First of all, I think that from an Hungarian point of view, there is no chance of exit from EU. It's not in the main aim of Orban, it's not in the main aim of Fidesz supporter, it's not on the main aim of voters. Hungary know how much being part of EU, it's important for them. And it's important for their development and their position within EU and within Eastern Central European countries. I think that the main consequences of nationalism and populism in Hungary could be, are already being settled by the decision of EU of maybe applying Article 7 against Hungary, sanction and infringement procedure. Nevertheless, I think even that Hungary maybe will retract some of his issues for being into accord with EU. The main aim of the government, of Hungarian position now, I think, is to be like a standpoint from other Eastern partners, like maybe Romania, Bulgaria, and Visegrad countries in general. So it's to stand against some issues which they don't like about EU. Maybe they perceive it a lack of democracy, they perceive to be second-class members. And this is a way to reach, we can say, a relevant position in EU.